Bongiwe, a very good morning to you and thanks for your time this morning. Now, we understand that the Basic Education Department has presented its annual performance plan and its budget to you, but it will include and it will talk about and address the violence that we're seeing in our schools. What have you heard from them in terms of violence at schools when they've made this presentation to you?
No, thank you very much, Rebecca, and the viewers. The department was led by the minister yesterday, and she did say that there is a sector plan in place and the departmental plan in place to curb the issue of violence, which is an issue in our schools. So we have agreed then that we will call them in the next term again so that they are able to tell us what are the plans that they are having.
Okay, so you've said that the committee will do everything in its power to help everybody to ensure that schools are places of safety. How do you plan to help?
We are not saying really there's nothing we can do, but the message that we want to put across to everybody, this is a societal matter. It's a societal issue. It needs all communities to get together and make sure that they stop the violence into schools. We have been made aware actually yesterday that there are schools that do not even have fencing. So it is just easy for perpetrators to get into the school and cause violence in schools. So those little things, we are urging our communities and our schools in particular to fence their buildings, at least to make sure that our kids are safe in their daily schooling days.
Now, obviously, this would have been a part of the considerations in the budget that they've outlined to you as well. Is there enough money to actually do this at this point?
No, money was never enough. And we had a budget from the national department, and this is a provincial prerogative actually. It's provincial departments that must make sure that schools are fenced, and that is an item on its own. It's provincial governments that must make sure it happens. So we raised it as a portfolio committee at the national level because it is a national issue. It's a national crisis. It's everywhere. You don't get it in particular provinces. You get it everywhere in the country. So we've raised it with the national departments because they are the ones that must make sure that provincial departments then do exactly that.
Bongiwe, while you're waiting for the department to come through with its plan to tackle violence in schools, you're waiting to hear what that plan is. I'm sure that the committee has had thoughts of its own, like you speak about fencing schools, but that will just be one small measure. We're talking about pupils who attack pupils, pupils who attack educators, educators who attack pupils, and also things like gang violence that spill into schools. They're not happening within the school grounds, but it does affect what's happening within the school grounds over those boundaries as well. So do you yourself, have you made some recommendations as part of the committee, and how far are you in that, and what are some of the things that you are suggesting there?
We'll be able to talk deeply and recommend better when we understand what their plan is. Now, till we get that plan, we can't say that, except that we've raised vehemently with them that we are concerned. Remember, people who are sitting in committees are parents themselves. So we've raised it as a committee, but also we've raised it as members of the same societies that these things are happening from.
Okay, any idea when you will be hearing about what the plan entails?
When we come back in the next term, I think later August, we will get the department to Parliament to come and tell us the plans that they are having.
Thanks very much for that committee, Chairperson Bongiwe Mbingo Gigaba. Still waiting for the Department of Basic Education to present that plan, and like she says, sometime in August.